Good morning! My name is Liv, sometimes called Rice. I make Hatsune Miku covers of Ghost, Sleep Token, other rock bands that I like here on YouTube on a somewhat regular basis. Those who have listened to my covers before know that I have a very specific work process in order to get Miku to sound a very specific way. Cue examples. Last year at some point I made a tutorial on how to achieve this effect since gatekeepers are absolutely posers, and it involved a lot of heavy VSQX and VPR editing and an outside program called vocalmorph, first made sort of popular by, allegedly, creators like Lachryma. My process has changed a lot since then, so I'm making an updated tutorial, and this is that. Enjoy! Don't get lost. So 2 things. I'm doing the voiceover after I've recorded all the footage, and I'm still working on Take Me Back to Eden a year later. So this is the primary part where my process has changed the most. Instead of loading up multiple phonemes into a single note, like I feel like most people do when they edit English Vocaloid, I have instead split every individual phoneme into its own note. Yes, it's insane. Yes, it kind of works. For some reason, Miku has a really hard time with blending together her vowels and her consonants, especially if she has multiple consonants in one phoneme slot. So by splitting everything into individual notes, and as you can see here on the left, I've got Synthesizer V up with my bass SVP file. I make all of my basses in Synthesizer V because the UI is just better for my hands and eyes and shortcuts. Anyway, Synthesizer V2 has a feature called phoneme timing down at the bottom that shows you how long each individual sound, like how long it takes up on the timeline. So by making them both the same fraction, I can match the timing of the phonemes from the Synthesizer V file into the VPR. So that's what's going on here. I'm taking out all of her individual consonants and vowels, splitting them into their own individual files, making them the length that they are, roughly based on the Synthesizer V file to the left, and it really changes the output. It just does.
No. Max. God. X. D. E. Neck. Sing me. That. But. Do. Right. And I don't know what's got its teeth in me, but I'm about to bite back in anger.
So here's what it sounded like raw in the VPR with no edits to any of the phonemes.
And I don't know what's got its teeth in me, but I'm about to do right back in anger.
And here's what it sounds like after I have split every consonant and every vowel into their own individual phoneme.
And I don't know what's got its teeth in me, but I'm about to bite back in anger.
Okay, I know I'm the third-party Miku guy. I know I'm the third-party program vocaloid guy. I know. But I can't help it. I really like vocalshifter, and this is probably the second biggest part of my process that has changed, is I no longer do any kind of tuning whatsoever in the vocaloid editor. I do everything in vocalshifter. Mostly because when you import the two opposing files, so as you can see here, the orange line is Tedo, so it's the raw synth export with Tedo on the main melody, and then the yellow is the export that I got out of Vocaloid. The yellow I can draw on because that's the track that I'm working on. So what I'm doing is like kind of using Tedo's pitch bends as a guide to show me where Miku's maybe should go, but I'm not following it exactly. It's like I said, it's a guide. I just like how it sounds better, especially when it comes to these rapping bits. Like I recorded this rap verse specifically to showcase this. It's just so much easier. Tuning in the Vocaloid editor is a nightmare. It just is. So if you haven't seen vocalshifter before, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a draw tune program. You know how you can draw tune in HADNODDAU? It's like that, but with raw audio files. So
And phosphorescence bleed through space.
I actually decided against using the vocalmorph version of the main file for this cover. When I made the original tutorial last year, working on the same song, I used the vocalmorph version of Miku. I think it was Miku and Mai, synth Mai. And it just, as I've gone on, the more covers that I make, the more that I work with Miku, the more that I work with the V6 editor instead of the V4 editor, I find that I'm not relying on vocalmorph as much.
Well, yeah, speed blow when I wake up. Sing porcelain steak, choking up brain matter on makeup. Just 2 days since the mainframe went down and I'm still messed up.
I think that the V6 editor fixes a lot of problems that I have with the V4 editor. I included this segment for the sake of like what it would look like if I was using it. My process with vocalmorph has shifted from just doing a flat baseline 10 to 15% boost, and then the static and the hissing and the weird sounds that you get from the export file, I just tune those out with EQ and a de-esser. And speaking of mixing, here we are.
I guess it goes to show, does it not, that we've no idea what we've got until we lose it.
I didn't change any of the plugins, any of the presets from the last time that I did this tutorial. So when I did the final mixing in the last tutorial, this is all the same. But I do just want to say, mixing is probably the most important thing that you can do to make your covers sound decent. I know that everyone says that, but it is genuinely true.
And I don't know what's got its teeth in me, that I'm about to bite back in anger. No amount of self-sorcery will bring back the glory of innocence.
I learned to mix from presets taken from Kiami's Patreon. Celia, everyone knows her covers. Everyone knows that they're amazing. Her tuning is actually very basic. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that as an attack. I mean that her tuning is very simple, and the realism in her covers that make the voices sound good comes from the mixing. You may not believe me. I promise you it's true. I think this tutorial ended up a little bit more scatterbrained than the first one, which is honestly quite an achievement. As always, if you have any questions, I'm always available in my Discord server, the link of which is in the description of the feature video of my channel. I deleted my Twitter a little while back, not very long before the controversy with Grok started, so if you tried to get in contact with me there and couldn't, that's why. But I'm always on my Discord. I'm active in that server like 24/7. I don't have anything else to do with my life other than work, so if this helped you, great. If you have more problems than before, you didn't learn any of this from me. Thanks.
Take care now. I love you. I like you.